Hi guys, Linda here. I am doing Cat Hand's mixed media morsel, and on her video she shows how to make this little book, and I made this one, um, and I had it laying flat all night, but when I got it out the next morning I felt like it wasn't dry, so then I took it out from under the heavy weights and it's still curled. It could be because of the fabric I used and the glue I used. So I am going to make another one. And then this is made out of a Czech recording book. And I had two of them. I thought today, oh, I'm going to make another one. So what I did with my pages before I sewed them in, and there's two signatures in here, is I stenciled them. But today I thought what I'd like to do is use my Gelli plate and paint them, because I just thought that would be fun. And that's not the way Kat's doing it. Hers will be cats. So make sure you check out her video, and I'll put a link to it below. Gelli printing is a messy project and it takes a lot of time. So this was a 45-minute video, and a lot of it I didn't like, and so I thought I'd do a voiceover. Right there, I just got out some old vintage book pages so I'd have some place to roll the paint off my brayer. And I tried a couple of cat stencils, and I don't know, they just didn't turn out the way I wanted them to. Here I'm trying to use a negative, but it just, I don't know, I just didn't like it. But I persisted, and that's kind of the way it is when I get out my Gelli print. It always takes me a while to get started and figure things out that I like and don't like, and that one the word was backwards. But the best part about Gelli printing is you can always go over it. You can just paint right over all of them. So there I'm just using a Tim Holtz stencil and some green paint, and then I'm picking up the negative off the plate, and I really like that. So I'm just going to keep going through here, adding paint, rolling it out, and trying different stencils. One thing I didn't do is I didn't put a piece of paper over the top of that, and so one side might have gotten heavy with paint, which turned out to be fine because I could stencil over the top of that piece. Now I'm going to get some different paint. This paint was funny. I'd never used it before, and I thought it was going to be that green color, and it turned out to be orange. I've had it probably for 3 years and never used it. That's what I'm really trying to do right now, is use up what I have, or use what I have. I'm on a spending freeze right now. So things are starting to look better, and I'm liking the way they're turning out a little bit more. That one's kind of has animal print stencil. This is a paint that I really like, but it was just about gone. So I got out some blue paint, and I'm putting it on with a key card. And I like that because you could get it, nice and thin, and there was still paint on the card, so I could use it on another one. This is really fun. Cat Hand has so many good ideas for mixed media. She has some good videos on Gelli printing too. Now I'm just trying to use up some of the paint around the edge. And I like the way that one turned out a lot. That was a lot better. So I'm trying to use up the little pieces on the side, and they're making patterns, and I'm thinking that's pretty good. Now I really should have had a piece of paper over that when I rolled it, but it was okay with me. Now I'm using my book pages to clean off the jelly plate before I put another color on. And you can see on my roller there's some paint, and I really should have rolled that off a little better. There we go, I rolled it off. Otherwise, it would go on the back of that piece. I like the way that one turned out. Now I'm going to try to roll that negative one there. The paper's pretty thin, so I like the way that one turned out too, but I can go over all of them. I like that star stencil. That's a fun stencil with the 4 pieces on it for these smaller pages. I used that one and some Tim Hortons ones. Here I just picked up what was left on the plate. And put a little bit of purple on. End up really liking this dark colors. I'm just cleaning my roller and the plate. Purple seemed a little bit more translucent than the blue. I really like this blue or this flower stencil, but the white background, wasn't giving me enough. So I do end up going over this. And there's a case where I kind of messed up the back with the brayer. Here I'm trying to clean the stencil off, but that didn't really work so good. Now finally I remember to clean the brayer off. I get going and I forget what I'm doing and forget to do all the things. So I'm starting to do a second layer and liking that better. Took me a while, 45 minutes or so, 47 minutes I think the video was. But I think they get it was getting boring and my voice sounded like I was going to sleep. And here I just made some zigzags on the jelly print, but I didn't really like that too much. So I'm trying to figure out what else to do, and I'm thinking, oh, maybe a light color will work. And I'm going to put that right over the purple. And I like that a lot. The 2 colors worked much better. So now I got a lot of purple on that one side, and I want to go in with the flower again and do the green because I like that combination. That turned out to be my favorite. And because the bottom already had some green on it, or the other side the paper had some green on it, I could just go in with the purple, and I really liked that one. Turned out good. So I decided to do this Tim Holtz one, and again, I ended up with a really white background and thinking, ooh, I liked it better when I did a light color than a dark color. Now I'm trying to find one that would go over that and give me a lot of color for the background, which, you know, that's not going to happen unless you do the light color first. But so I kind of felt like I had a mess there. Now I finally decide if I use one of my scrap papers, I won't mess up the side, which I did on that one. I really messed it up by not putting a cover sheet over it. So I'm going over that side again. And it turns out much better. That's a fun part about this is that you can keep layering and layering and you get a lot of texture or, you know, you can put a lot of paint on them. So there I picked up like the shadow of it. There I just got a lot of the dark. I'm going to let it dry and then I'm going to put some light over it. So I'm looking through them now and seeing which ones I'd like to add more to. And I'm just picking up some green paint so that um, I can go over it. Now, all these papers, all my scrap papers, um, I go through those at the end or later and put stencils over those just to clean things up. And there I'm cleaning up the mat. And I can use all that painted paper too. I'm looking for a clean one. Is that orange again? So I like the way that one turned out, but there was a lot of space around the edges, and I'm just putting it back on the paper and getting, you know, back on the jelly print and picking up the rest of the paint. I'm looking through them to see which ones could use some more, another layer. I think this is one where I'm just picking up the paint. Yeah, picked up the leftover yellow or orange or whatever color it is. Citrus, I think it was a citrus color. I'm looking through them. That one could use some more. This really is so much fun. And it's messy. Now I'm trying to figure out a way to put um, 3 stencils or 2 stencils. Some different things. And I like that. And you can see I could put a piece of paper on there and pick that up. And that's what I'm trying. picking up all the old paint. So now I'm going through them all just to see if I like them all and sort the ones that I feel like need a little bit more paint. Now, that one is done with stencils and distress ink, some sprays, and maybe not as messy as the jelly print, but both are just as much fun. And I could go back through the ones I jelly print and put some distress paint over them. But because it's going to be a mixed media journal, I'm sure we're going to be doing, a lot of other things on the pages. So here again, I'm just trying to add a little bit more to some of the pages I felt like could use a little more. So you see there's a lot of paint on the jelly plate, and I'm just going around and trying, to pick up more of that, because there's a little bit that's wet. So I'm putting my signatures together, just kind of getting an idea what they'll look like in a book. And I think I find that I had one more that needed some more. So again, I have the flower one out. And I didn't feel like that showed up as much because it was a light color. Again, I'm trying to find one that fill in the spaces. I like that better. I also like the fact that I had all that um, book pages with all the paint on it, so I can use those in different projects too. Okay, that's about it. So thanks for watching. Bye bye.